Okay, so this is from Anyeji. Uchenna Anyeji. So it says, "Good evening, sir. Is it ideal to convert my 308 compressor to manual? Thanks a lot to your response." Um, so uh, there are a lot of first. I don't know. Okay, let's start. So this is response to one video I did of 407 AC compressor. Now 308, I believe you are referring to T7308. So um, T7308, depending on the engine model, they have like two types of compressor. One's compressor is not identical, but similar to that one in 307. So I see the phase 2. While there's another one that is basically identical to some of the ones you find in 508, 3008, which what else? The one that fails more or that will be very difficult is to fix. Is the one that has plastic pulley. That's a very useless compressor. Don't understand Peugeot. I don't know what I mean is there's one that when you start your engine, even with the AC off, the pulley will be spinning constantly. So it doesn't. So if you put on AC, there won't be any. You even know that you put on AC, you won't hear that click or anything. I don't think you will because pulley is already spinning. Everything on that pulley side is spinning. So I hope I got that right based on what I've observed. So that one, I advise people don't put it back, don't bother. So what I know I've done was about 2 cars with that system, with that compressor model was to put um the other type. Now the other type was it 307 type that what I contracted it out. So the person just bought a compressor, mounted it. So I know it was now the one with the metal pulley, but the connections are not the same. The one with the plastic pulley, the connector is behind the compressor. It's almost like it's not the same, but it looks as if it's like 407 compressor where they have a solenoid attached behind. So it looks like that on the plastic pulley compressor on 308 T7. While the metal pulley compressor 308, the connector is on the pulley. The plastic one, the connector is behind. The other one is, what I mean pulley, I mean close to the pulley, so in front, this other one behind. So what I know they did was two persons, so they now got a more dependable compressor. So they connected it, mounted it, and now the same connection to the compressor. But what they now did was they introduced micro relay, to run it. They introduced a micro relay. So, and it serves for years now. At least I know one of them for years. It served, no issue. It wasn't affecting the engine power or dragging or anything. It was basically like the way that plastic one was working. So now you could say, was it a manual compressor? Was it a manual kind of conversion? I don't want to call it manual because the compressor used both times that I gave this to the SE technician that did this work for me on my client's cars. It wasn't like the compressor has two connectors like the one in 407. They have both they have connector on the front, which is directly behind the pulley, while the second one is the solenoid that is behind. So in other words, 4 wires, 2 wires this side, 2 wires this side. So but the compressor this guy used was just the one that has only 2 wires in the front, so no one behind. So I won't call it the one that when you do the manual conversion is like it has two. If let's assume the car wiring system to the compressor is supposed to have two harnesses, like 4 wires going to compressor. But in this case, it was just 2 wires, so you understand. So the only thing I know is to do some every day. It works. Was it a manual this thing? I don't know for sure. I can't say. But if I were to go with what he said, how the thing sound, it didn't work as if they did that manual. Because like I said, nobody opened anything. They didn't open the compressor to do anything inside. They just mounted it and did the connection. The the manual compressor, the conversion, when you say manual, for example, in 407, some people will go and the one that is piloted, they call it piloted compressor, um, which they have that solenoid. The solenoid is what they call sensor. So some people will go and open the solenoid. I told that story in this video you responded to or commented on. They will open behind the compressor, do something, so the solenoid will no longer work. So they will now call it manual compressor. Then converted into manual. So in that case, if we are talking about 407, I'll tell you personally, I'll go with that factory, the one we call automatic. Because my own personal experience, I never liked that idea, especially 407. So I saw people that did it, drove their cars. I didn't feel any difference that the car was chilling very well. So, but when they eventually suggested it to, I think it was my 407. So at that time, I knew the compressor was weak. So they said, but if you do this thing, how it's going to work well, just do it. What will you lose? So I gave it a thought. I was like, okay, actually, I won't lose much because I was already planning that. Not necessarily, I was like, okay, I'm going to change the compressor eventually. So maybe let me try this one to see how if it will work. If it doesn't work, fine. I'll leave it like that till I replace the compressor. Since it won't cost me that much. So they did it, felt no difference. So eventually, which also led to me changing the compressor, you know. So it was like, okay, I've done all the best I could on this compressor and still wasn't feeling it, so I got rid of it. Now my second car with that I took this compressor that I could see, I mentioned on this video. Just there was a leakage in the pulley side. The seal was weak. Took it there, replaced the seal. For some reason, it was like, okay, let's check to be sure that it's not leaking also from behind. I said, okay, fine, go ahead. I was there, it was okay, something I don't know about, like how to open it, do all their work, or put it back. I was there watching, so it wasn't as if I was not there. He did everything, put it back. I said, okay, pay. As it was at the point of paying the agreed price that he said, the technician now said, at least now your compressor will start chilling very well now that I've converted it to manual. I was mad. I was raving like hell. As in, I just couldn't contain my anger. I said, right there in my presence, you went and did this nonsense. Who gave you that permission? Did I ask you or did I inform you in any way, shape, or form that I need this service? That I needed to do this on this compressor? I bought this thing and said, hey, there's a leakage. And this compressor was chilling. This car chills almost close to 406. Very cold, nothing. I've never had issue with to say, oh, it's not chilling well. Except that every once in a while, maybe every 1 month or 2 months or sometimes less, the gas will leak out. So I just kept topping it up because I was like, oh, I don't want to go down. So, to trace leakage on AC can be very annoying. So I was like, I would rather just keep topping up until when I have the time to deal with that issue. So and I had the time, let me fix the leakage so I won't have to top up almost every now and then. So I was not having issue with cooling issue. I had no issue with that. The compressor was not cooling well, but he had a leakage. Now he went and did something I did not ask him to. After he has fixed the leakage, he said he wants to check the pipe to be sure it was not also leaking from the pipe, only for him to go and mess it up. I was angry because I knew even before I did my 407 own that I was already I've made it up my mind I was going to change the compressor anyway, but it wouldn't hurt to just do this since the compressor will be thrown away eventually anyway. So if it's fine, if it doesn't, well, I won't feel anything about it. And eventually, nothing happened. Same issue. So I never, which kind of memories? Okay, fine. Going forward, I won't have any business doing this manual conversion on any compressor. So as Comfort 7 is concerned, anyway. So who asked you? And guess what? We mounted the compressor, car stopped chilling well after he did that manual conversion. And the painful thing was, they were not telling me it can't be reversed. Once you do that manual conversion, and the next thing to do on the compressor, if it doesn't work well or anything, is to change it. So that was my anger because it can, according to them, I don't know, that it cannot be reversed. Once you do that, that's the end of it. So anytime the compressor has an issue with cooling, is to throw it away. So to bring it back to your own case, now the reason why I have to mention my experiences for you to understand what I'm taking from your comment concerning manual, converting it to manual. I gave you an instance of one they did on a 308, which to me, I won't call it a manual, it's just at a different compressor mounted, different connection. So I won't call it manual, even though a relay was introduced, but it will look as if it was manual. But in 407, there are two harnesses that's meant to be on a compressor. So once they do that manual, the second harness or second connector will no longer be needed. Only one, the one that goes to pulley. So now the compressor is no longer chilling well. Because of that, I was not even doing the car. Now the weather is becoming hot. I kind of let the car because I'll give it a try and see. Last time I drove the car was during rainy season. So I'll try and see whether it will work. Maybe this. I don't know because it was horrible. Something that was working well and you went and messed it up. So basically I have to change the compressor. We'll see. So I know you'll be asking, wondering why am I going back and forth, all these things and that. I want you to make up your mind. That's what I'm saying. I'm not telling you which one is which. If it's exactly what I described concerning the plastic pulley compressor versus metal pulley compressor specifically for 308, I would say I don't see anything wrong with that because people have done it and it works. But if it has to do with maybe you bring a compressor that is piloted compressor, the one that has those sensor or has two connectors, then we open it, do something inside so I can only work with one connector. Hey, I don't think I'll do that or recommend it to anybody. So I hope that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. So I'm not an expert on AC, but as I repair people cars, sometimes I have to take it to my own AC contact to do for them. So I also gain experience from what they've done, and also my own personal car, and then feedback from others. So that's the thing. But in terms of whether I know everything about for AC, no, I don't. So hope that answered the question. All right. So going to move on. So